Hello guys! We recently got to test a new boss on the PTR and we're sharing our best and longest attempt with you. Keep in mind that this is by no means meant to be a guide, it's merely a first look at the fight, just so you can see what it looks like. The boss's name is Horridon, although there are many other mobs in the fight. This is a two-phase fight, and right now you're watching footage from the first. The rhinoceros-looking beast is Horridon, the main boss if that can be said. He has a few abilities of his own, although none of them are particularly problematic. He applies a stacking debuff on the tank, and he does this AoE damage in front of him and behind him at the same time, so melee DPS pretty much stand at the side. Horridon himself, though, is not the problem. The problem are the many groups of adds that spawn during the fight. We can see the first group of adds here. These are called the Faraki tribe of trolls. They have quite a few annoying abilities, but the most important one is a void zone called Sand Trap that they essentially spam. I say it's annoying because the graphical effect on the ground makes it kind of hard to tell where exactly the void zone ends, and its damage is pretty huge. These adds continue to spawn until you destroy the door or gate from which they're coming. The way to destroy the gate is to mind control Horridon himself and essentially just smash him into the gate. The way to control him is through an orb of control, something that you might be able to see right now. It's an item that a different kind of mob called a Zandalari Dinomancer drops when he reaches 50% health. Someone can just click the orb and this grants a mind control of Horridon. You smash into the gate is destroyed, the add stops spawning. Shortly after one type of adds stops spawning, a new type begins to spawn from a different gate. There are 4 gates, and so you have to deal with 4 different types of adds during the fight. Right now you can see the second group, the Gurubar Trolls, coming into the arena. These are mainly poison venom based adds with a bunch of abilities, some of which can be interrupted and some not. They do quite immense AoE damage, and it's particularly painful for the melee. Just like with the first group, a Dinomancer will come out, and when you bring him to 50% health, he will drop an Orb of Control. Then you take control of Horridon, smash him into the gate, move on to the next group of adds. It's also worth mentioning that the PTR testing of this boss was pretty difficult because there were several issues with the servers. First of all, it was quite laggy. Second of all, the world server in Pandaria was down, so many characters that were logged out in Pandaria couldn't actually sign in and attend the raid. Thirdly, and quite hilariously, when you enter the raid instance, you're placed exactly on top of where Horridon spawns, so you end up pulling him. We're finally done with the Gurubashi now, and as you can see, the Drakari trolls are now entering the arena. These trolls, they're not really as bad as the previous ones. They apply some diseases to raid members. They, I think one of them, one type of ad fixates on random players, so that can be a bit annoying. And they spawn these frozen orbs, which we weren't actually able to tell whether they follow people around or just spin around in circles, but in any case, they deal quite a lot of damage around them and they don't seem to ever despawn. And we're done with the Drakari trolls. Now it's time for the final wave. These are the Amani trolls, and they're just entering the arena now. These guys don't do anything particularly interesting or damaging. Some of them have a cone cleave attack. Some of them put down some actually very damaging totems, and they just spam some damage spells at the raid. The problem at this point of the fight, however, is that quite a lot of the arena is filled up with orbs, and you can see the sand traps as well. They don't disappear. It's not really a problem because the arena is really gigantic, but it can be an inconvenience. So this is where the second and last phase of the fight starts. Another boss called War God Jhalak jumps down into the arena, and you have to fight both him and Horridon at the same time. This boss only has 20 million health in 10 man, so he can be killed very quickly. When War God Jhalak is killed, Horridon goes into a rampage, having increased attack speed and damage. Despite this, the best way to do it is probably going to be to kill Jhalak right away and endure Horridon's enrage. The reason for this is that Jhalak is extremely dangerous to keep alive. He melees for a huge amount of damage, and he does an AoE raid damage ability, and he has a stacking self buff that increases his damage done. This is the only attempt we got on this phase of the fight, so we didn't get to kill either of the bosses, but we just don't really think that it's feasible to keep Jhalak alive and kill Horridon first. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I hope you got something useful out of it. You can rest assured that we're going to release a lot more PTR stuff as soon as more bosses are made available. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to be notified of any new videos we release.